And we are live. Hey everybody, glad you could make it. I hope you're all doing very well this evening. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's joined. You guys are awesome. How's everybody doing this evening? Let's give a shout out to everybody that's in chat. Michael Kahn, welcome. Martin Smith, thank you for coming. The Secret of Everything. Leighton Stones, glad you could make it. Lumpy Gas in a Vacuum. And Frigstrom. What? Frigstrom. Black Swan is just another. Okay, Flexstrom or whatever his name is. And then Paul Peterson. And Igor Grujic. T2 Scientific Method. Oh, it's just T2. Matthew Eastman. Truth in All. And Not One. Good to see you all. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. How's it, Michael Kahn? How you doing, mate?
I'm doing fine, mate. You?
Oh, great, thank you. I know Lumpy Gas is also in, but I'm not sure if he's hopped into YouTube right now.
Here I am.
Awesome.
And hi. Yeah, glad to be here. And this is one of my favorite topics.
I'm glad you could come back.
Right, these measurements are really a difficulty for the people who want to maintain a belief that there's a radius value that's been measured.
Yes, exactly. Definitely. Hey, Better Than Gold, good to see you. Glad you could make it. No, 100% agree. That's why I decided let's do it tonight. Haven't done Black Swan in a while, so we might as well get to it and do it. As you can see that logo on here. Yeah. Well, I don't like the guy, but this was a video he did on Simon Dan's channel. I think it was a year or two ago for Flat Earth Fridays when Simon Dan went on holiday, and he had some points that he brought out about the Black Swan. So I just thought I have to show it and show you how idiotic these guys are, that they do not understand the Black Swan argument actually.
What about them bendy cranes?
Yeah, exactly.
It is. Can I just say it real quick? It has nothing to do. I mean, not that it has nothing to do with the image. It has That's not the important part of the Black Swan. What the important part is that the horizon's above and behind a known distance. It's not about whether or not the image that gives us that distance value. It's about the horizon behind it. Okay.
It's about the horizon, exactly. It's as simple as that. Hey, Quinlan, 1977, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Truth in All, the Black Swan. You're going to see what the Black Swan is in a minute. Because I've actually come across quite a few people don't know what the Black Swan is, to be honest. A lot of them haven't even heard of it, the new guys to Flat Earth. So, Truth in All, it's simple. The Black Swan is simply a Modus tollens argument. How it goes by is white swans. You know white swans exist. You see them all over. But if we can come and we can prove to you that there's one black swan, that debunks the argument that there is only white swans around. So if your argument was there is only white swans that exist and I bring evidence that there is a black swan, that debunks the argument that there is only white swans. Now, the same Modus tollens goes for with the globe. They have a argument that we see boats and things in the distance blocked by physical Earth curve. So if we are shown that things can be blocked without that Earth curve, or their set geometry for that Earth curve is not constant, then it debunks their argument, because the globe is said to be a set radius. So that means your geometry for that globe is set to a radius. If it's that, and we can show the globe, the curve to go beyond that, then it means there is no curve for the globe. It means the radius is debunked. No radius, no globe. Did I make that plain enough?
Not just globe, no R debunks more than Earth.
It debunks everything, because everything,
distance to the sun, being able to get to the moon, everything's based on that radius.
Hey Flat Sabbath, good to see you. Fetish First, Dust and bones. Yeah, it's very true. I mean, every single thing relies on that radius. The Copernicus model would not work without the set radius. And everything in astronomy relies on the Copernicus model. Cool. Max65, good to see you. And yes, the Black Swan does prove the flat Earth.
Okay, this is a little speculative, but I want to say it. The channels that had not brought this topic up in their channel and offer a lot of speculation, this is the topic, and this is the measurements that separate like speculation from actual fact. We have debunked the radius claim with these observations.
Exactly. That's all it does. It's literally killed their radius. And without the radius, they don't have a working globe. You guys ready for Mr. McToon ignorance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get to it.
Hello all, and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, MC Toon. Thank you very much for joining me. You may have heard about the Black Swan that some flat earthers think is the one proof to rule them.
Yeah. The Black Swan is one proof to rule us. No. The Black Swan is there because you guys claim only white swans. Now, if they're shown one black swan, that means there's no white. There's not only white swans. Your whole argument is thrown away. That's how it works. Everything that proves a globe is ridiculous. Exactly, Unrama. Good to see you. Glad you are making it.
One proof to find them. One proof to bring them, and in the darkness bind.
And he's supposed to be a Christian, guys, and he's showing the eye of Mordor. The irony.
Right.
Huh? I mean, really. Doesn't that say something to you guys?
The guy ain't no Christian, otherwise he won't go around saying things like he said to you.
No. He still hasn't actually apologized for that.
He'll apologise one day, because one day somebody will drop on him and slap him.
Yeah. But like I said, I think he's literally just an acting glober anyway.
Yeah, I suspect that too.
He's doing it for the money, guys. Because he's got such a large, gullible audience, he's obviously just going to keep playing them. Better than gold.
I very strongly suspect that's the truth.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. He's got, what, over 50, 60,000 subscribers? And they all are dumber than him. Literally just believing every word he says. Even if he does like Sam and Dan. Brings up something, just says nah, because globe, then they just believe it. And then they ignore the actual argument because he said it, you understand? Yes, Earth is a horizontal plane. Exactly, pure medicine.
How many times do you have to point somebody out double speaking before you prove them to be a liar?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hey guys, Jeff Goldie, good to see you. Yeah, no, exactly. But you guys are going to see how ridiculous his arguments get you. And as we know, globers always have false equivalents, straw man, red herrings, the tutti, you name it. Hey Gary Wabenga, good to see you. Bob the Science Guy analyzed the Black Swan and he came up with a radius of about 11,000 miles. We actually showed Gary that he actually did his math wrong and it came up to what, 250,000 miles, remember? Something like that.
Yep.
So yeah.
And a flatopia where all the flat earthers lie. So they show this photo of some oil rigs. Do a little math, ignore some conflating variables.
Do a little math and ignore some conflating variables. What are those variables actually, guys, do you think? Because this is based on the geometry of the globe.
Yeah, what variable could he possibly be referring to? And of course, he won't be specific.
Doesn't this make you guys think also when I asked him with orthographic view, because he's claimed it was perspective, I asked, how did you take perspective into account? Show me on the orthographic calculations, where is perspective taken into account? Instead, he wanted to push it onto me to provide it for him. This is exactly what they do here. So they just ignore parts of everything and they just state, because I say so, therefore that it's like this. By the way, guys, he still hasn't provided to me that flask measurement. Remember, I gave him the flask just to give me the measurement of the height. You know he couldn't work it out, even though he asked me to give him elevation and everything for it. I gave him literally everything. I just didn't give him the size of the flask, and he couldn't work it out. Why? Because you know that trailer thing he did? He back engineered it. That's why.
Yeah, I mean they're manipulative. They have tactics.
You see, he tries to prove that he's this brilliant math expert, but then he can't just work out a simple height of a flask.
Right.
That's why I say with that so-called trailer that he showed there with his theodolite, how easy is it just to work there, first measure it, and then you do the calculations after you've measured it? It's called back engineering.
Right. You got it, Fudge. You're not wrong.
It's all they do, and that's how the globe works. The globe is worked on back engineering the flat Earth.
Yeah, based on Polaris, and latitudes could only be drawn on a flat surface beside.
Yep. But let's go on.
Declare that the horizon can only be so far away. The horizon is farther away, therefore they think the Earth is flat.
You see, there you go. He's actually just debunked his own argument. Yes.
You need the radius.
Yeah, you got your radius, your set radius. 3959. If
Yeah.
it's set at that, it's set at that. That's how geometry works.
And it would be terrestrial refraction, the horizon refracting, not the image.
Yeah, it would be
And-
the actual
and if
ground.
And if they claim that refraction, how did they get the initial measurement? Because they needed the initial measurement.
But yeah, first of all, it's not actual refraction of light. It's the terrestrial refraction is not Snell's law. It's simply
Correct.
the ground itself warping to flatten out. So it's like Eric Dubé would say, the Earth is alive and it's breathing. Hey Benton, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Oh yeah, okay. But let's go on.
This is completely ignoring conflating variables like atmospheric refraction that completely mangles the view of the oil rigs. I won't get into it too much because there's already so many debunks of the Black Swan.
Hey, what? Good to see you. He says there's so many debunks of the Black Swan. What debunks of the Black Swan? Have you guys ever seen any? Because I've had a lot of these guys. There's so many debunks of the Black Swan, and when I ask him to present it to me, I don't get it.
Yeah, no specificity again.
I've searched the whole of the internet for Black Earth debunks, and I don't get any Black Earth debunks. But they said there's so much. They've been saying this for years now. Have you guys had any presented to you?
No, it's just like the words and then like empty words from the antique crowd.
Exactly. And the one thing I always used to say when the Black Swan came out, they don't get when they say refraction, they are excluding their own argument. They're literally throwing their own argument. That's why I love my 11 frames argument. Because their argument is I took Earth curve away. What did I remove? An inferior mirage. It's an optical illusion. So like this as well. When they're claiming the Earth curve is only optical, hence refraction, it's not physical. It throws away the physical globe curve. It's them conceding. As soon as they say refraction, they're conceding there is no physical curve. It's only optical.
Correct.
Can't make it more clearer than that.
But I will include a link to the list of different debunks on my website at mc2.net.
Okay.
The point, though, is that they employ a handy logical argument called modus tollens.
Modus tollens. Modus tollens. Modus tollens.
It goes like this.
I'll go through that real quick if you want. So it's if A then B. So if the radius is 3,959 miles then B, all distances from 1 foot observer height can be no further than 1.225 miles.
Times the
And
square
the
root of
modus tollens in this case is if a radius is 3,959 miles, then not B, the object is beyond 9.4 miles. That's the modus tollens logic.
Yeah.
And there's nothing incorrect. It hasn't been manipulated in any kind of way. He's just going to say that it has.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he says modus tollens if P then Q, not Q, therefore not P, which is very simple. The globe claims the radius of Earth is a set radius, 3959, and because of that set radius, every observation, the curve has to start at a 1.22 at a 1 foot of observer height. If that is that case, then if you show it further than that, then that is not the radius claimed. It's very simple stuff. It can't be one or the other. It's simply yes or no. If it's there, then it's there. If it's not there, then it's not there. It's called logical deduction.
E, then Q. Not Q, therefore not P. Or to give it a little more concrete, if it's a car, then it has wheels. It does not have wheels, therefore it's not a car.
That's false equivalence. A car doesn't need wheels. Wheels is just there to make the car move. So that's one thing you got. That's the kind of, how can I say, magic trick they try and push on their gullible followers. The car is just a false equivalent. Exactly. What makes a car? It's a motor vehicle. If it's got wheels or not, it's still a motor vehicle. Your globe is a set globe radius. That means it's a geometric set radius. If it is not that set radius, then it is not a geometric set radius. So your globe says 3959, but we show it to be larger than that, goes out further than that, therefore it's not a globe at 3959 radius. So which is it? You have to then concede your globe is much larger than you expect it to, but then you can't claim that there's earth curve of boats going from 3 miles away over. You understand? So it's either that comes to that thing, earth too big to see curve, or earth too small to have it flattened out. Which one is it? Can't have one or the other. Hey, Charlie Gold, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Benchen, glad you could make it, dude. Oh, wow. Doing the Rubik's Cube that he already planned out before the time, guys. Just to try and show he can do a Rubik's Cube. As that's supposed to make him look smart now. That's what they call a magic trick, guys. You know, part of illusionary. A lot of the time you get the people, it's called trying to get your attention away from the actual argument. So he gave the modus tollens, gave a false equivalence for it, and to make you now forget that he gave a false equivalence, he just quickly does Rubik's Cube to try and get your attention to that. That's how magic tricks are performed, people. It's called sleight of hand.
Well, it's a good argument, but only if the premise is true.
Yeah, and your premise was not true on your car because it was a false equivalence. The premise is true when it comes to the globe argument because you made a claim that the Earth is a set radius. So that geometric horizon is a physical Earth curve. If it is shown to be further than that, then it is not a set geometric horizon. Therefore, your geometry is shown false, and therefore your whole globe model has fallen apart because everything relies on the Copernicus model, which relies on your set radius. No set radius, no Copernicus model, nothing. Zilch, nada, no curve.
We know that flat Earth doesn't work. So I thought I'd put together a list of black swans. Turns out flat Earth is black swans all the way down. There's so many I can't cover them all here. But be sure to check the link in the description to get to my YouTube channel where you can subscribe
Exactly, Benton.
and get all the other Black Swans videos as I bring them out.
Before we do the number one, Kenny Eaton says, get a telescope and look across the ocean and tell me if you can see whatever continent is across the ocean from you. Let me know how it works out. First of all, Kenny, shit shrinks. Second of all, you look through stuff. So the further you look through something, the less you are able to see it. You know, when you look in underwater, have you ever gone into a large pool? Let's say Olympic pool, and you've tried to look from one side to the other. It's very hard. And no, the only idiot here, Kenny, is yourself, because you don't understand diffraction. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, guys, this is the Black Swan 1 against the Flat Earth, guys, from McToon. Maybe I have to mute this music whenever he puts it on, because I don't know if it's copyright, you know. Okay, let's go.
Black Swan, number 1.
Okay.
Best to start with the actual
Godzilla. It's an oblate spheroid. This has been discussed. No, it's not an oblate spheroid. This debunks it being oblate spheroid. That's why we're talking about the Black Swan.
Black Swan from the original Flat Earth claim. On a flat surface, nothing could ever appear behind the horizon. There would always be something farther away on the surface, but...
Wait, is he making sense here? Let's see what he says again.
On a flat surface, nothing could ever appear behind the horizon.
Oh, is that so? So, in other words, you don't get bottom-up obstruction on a flat surface. Is that what he's claiming? Am I hearing that right?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Well, I'm hearing that he don't understand what horizon is, to start with.
How much times have I demonstrated this on my channel? Actual demonstrations? Should I remind him again?
If it can be pulled up real quick, the coin sliding back or any of that.
Even that, yeah, I don't even need that. I just need to show my sinking caps even.
Right.
I literally do it on flat surfaces, showing them. And I even showed it's a flat surface, by the way, yeah.
Another tactic.
So that just puts him as a liar then, doesn't it?
It honestly does, because he has seen it.
He has seen it. And we've been showing it time and time again. If I can find that short here, or is it just under videos? Oh, sorry guys, I want to find it quickly, because I have a lot of videos and stuff. Bottom obstruction, where are you? There we go, sinking caps. So tell me guys, are these caps actually sinking over a curve? Sorry that's sideways,
No.
but this is a flat surface, guys. This cap looks lower than that cap, does it not? The bottom of this cap is vanishing, this one's still got the top.
It may appear to.
And guys, this bolt here has a nut. You can't even see the nut. And that's over a flat surface. So what does his claim again? If it's flat, you would not be able to see that. So this already shows flat surface going against what he just claimed. So he doesn't actually understand how things are observed in reality.
Listen, water don't curve.
Nope.
That's a fact. If you think it does, you've got something wrong upstairs.
Definitely. You see this, guys, this is the reference I gave. This is the same bolt and nut on that side. It's above the surface. So this nut is like that. It's about 2 to 3 millimeters high. And then you still got the bolt as well. Now I'm staying there as reference to show you I'm above the flat surface. You see I'm moving down, staying above it, keeping it in camera so you can see. See, it's still there. I'm higher than I am than the surface, and I am getting bottom up obstruction on a flat surface when I zoom in. There's that nut still, guys. Still above it, and I'm getting bottom up obstruction. So McToon, make a claim again. Tell me again that you cannot get bottom up obstruction on a flat Earth. So his first idiotic thing is debunked.
On a flat surface, nothing could ever appear behind the horizon.
Behind the horizon, and yet, on a flat surface, it appears behind the horizon. Hey, Two Wolves, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Do you think this is a good start for him, guys?
Oh, well, it's typical of the anti-crowd. They just make up statements and...
Yeah, that's about it. Because he doesn't understand how it works, so he just makes a claim it won't be possible. So
You know, if McToon walked into a room with some normal people who believe in love, they'd laugh at him.
yep. I mean,
Correct.
my wife, she actually asked me the other day, why are these people the way they are? She literally thinks they're insane. And my wife's a glow believer, by the way, guys.
So they make out we're crazy because we think Earth's flat, but they're the ones who actually act crazy and say crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, and the reason my wife doesn't really worry about global flat earthing because she says it doesn't matter to her. So we haven't really spoken about it in that manner. But she has not once been like these guys towards me, ever, for being a flat earther, by the way. No normal glober has. Ever.
I think it boils down to an emotional attachment to space and space travel and thinking.
I guess so.
Space. I think that's what the problem is for a lot of people. I mean, I just watched one video and thought, oh, wow, what a dunk curve. Do you know what I mean? That was it. Spell broke. Didn't bother me at all. I can still watch space sci-fi films. Don't bother me.
Yeah, I still enjoy myself. I mean, you guys know I still enjoy Star Wars and stuff. Interstellar to me was a brilliant movie still. I just see it in a different light though, but I still enjoy it.
You know it's science fiction.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
You just know it's not real. Like, it's good to, break away from norm and have that little 2 hours where you think you're in space and that, but it's just not real.
Yeah, you just know it's just a story. 87 votes. Do any flat earthers understand the black swan? 50% say yes, no, 43%. You guys do know this is a catch-22, because if they are saying yes, they understand, that means they're dishonest, because they do understand and just playing stupid. Or no, they don't understand, and then that actually shows, yeah, they're just ignorant.
Just about everybody who I've spoke to, and we've had a couple in chat tonight, don't even know that it were a video. I think it's just a photograph.
Exactly. Yes, Derek Nelson, she's way a leagues overhead of these guys. Jess Palmer, great to see you. Glad you could make it. Hey, Jonah Edwards, thank you could make it. It's good to see so much new people in chat. You guys are awesome. I really, really appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
There would always be something farther away on the surface, but in this photo, taken by the same guy as the original claimed black swan, the distant oil rig is obstructed by the horizon.
Yeah, that's why they call that a white swan. Well, why do you think it's obstructed by the horizon in that photo, McToon?
Well, it's still a black swan, that.
Yeah, but why do you think...
Because distance to that first rig's still beyond limits.
And it's sitting on the arrow. Yes, you're right, and it's not obstructing it. And it's not obstructing it. And that first one is 6 miles away, is it not?
Yeah.
So it's anyway still a black swan, as you put it. Wow.
That's how silly McToon is like.
Yeah, he doesn't really think further than his nose. Let's put it that way.
Now, flat earthers will make all sorts of claims and invent brand new physics.
Yes, obstructed by Rayleigh criterion, the diffraction limit.
But it's just not possible. So here is black swan number 1. If the Earth is flat, nothing can appear behind the horizon.
Which we just showed you with demonstration it can. Again, skull cap, there we go. Flat surface behind the horizon, McToon. Okay, it's gone.
The oil rig is behind the horizon, therefore, the Earth is not flat.
The caps and stuff are behind the horizon, therefore the Earth is flat because it's shown on a flat surface. McToon. So there we go. Point 1 already debunked, McToon. So your black swan for flat Earth against flat Earth is actually a black swan against the globe Earth. Who knew? Thank you. Number 2. Oh, these musics. Do. Just don't know if this music's copyright or not. You know how it works with these guys. Anything to copyright us.
Yeah, that'll be the thing that'll happen is they'll put something on that is copyrightable, strikeable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they try to be tricky.
Yep.
Again.
They do it. They do it on purpose.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Swan, number 2.
Number 2, guys.
If the Earth were flat,
Yeah.
then from high elevation, when you look at the horizon, the angular dip would be essentially 0. Flat earthers state it as the horizon always rises to eye level.
Horizon rises relative to eye level. When will these guys get this? It doesn't actually rise to your eye level. It rises relative because it's an optical illusion as your field of view increases.
Yeah, exactly. If a guy was stood at sea at 5 foot and a guy was stood at sea and he was 7 foot, just say, they both see a horizon at different heights.
Yep. Exactly. But he says, okay, but let's go on. I don't know why he's talking about dip though. Let's go.
A horizon can't be in two places at the same time, can it?
No, you only get one horizon because it's an apparent position.
It's an effective vision.
Yeah, it's an apparent position where the sky and the ground appear to meet.
It's the convergence point based on our eye's limitation.
Mm-hmm.
And again, to compare the image with it zoomed in with a high power zoom camera and then trying to make an equivalency to the naked eye observation measurement claimed by the globe, they're again another false analogy, another tactic.
Yep. But I want to show something. Let's just
Eye
listen
level
further.
being the horizontal plane perpendicular to the downward direction. The reason must be essentially 0 on a flat surface is because if there's an edge, it's very far away.
What edge? What's he talking about? What's an edge got to do with it? You wouldn't be able to even see it even if there was an edge. The only edge you have is on your ball, a spherical edge. That's why it's called Earth curve, because they're going over that spherical edge.
I'd like to point out the word you used just now, horizontal.
Oh yeah, an horizontal. But I like how he's saying dip, guys. So he's saying it would be essentially 0. So let me point you guys to this photo. What do you guys see here in relation to this? Obviously Lumpy and Michael's not going to probably see this. But there's ships from a high elevation. What do you guys notice with the ships as it goes back in the distance? Are these ships looking like they're going down and below a curve, or are they look like they're raising relative to eye level? Is this ship relatively to eye level higher than this one? Or to this one? Or to this one, yes. What about that one at the back? Does that one seem to look the highest out of them all? Why would this be, guys? If it's a globe, it's supposed to be going down. According to the globe, the dip would go down, so that last boat should look the lowest compared to everybody, not the highest. With perspective on a flat earth, it rises relative to eye level, and therefore it would look higher because it's going into the convergence zone. And that's exactly what we are seeing here. McToon, your point number 2 is debunked as well. And shrinking, exactly, Flat Sabbath, and it's shrinking. Shit shrinks. Something their geometry does not take into account either. Okay, how about this photo, guys? A bit lower elevation. Why does these boats look higher than this one? And it's going into the distance. Look at that. Higher, higher. All of them are becoming higher and higher as it goes into the distance. Why is that, McToon? Oh, I know. Because things rise relative to eye level. Optical phenomena, not physical, optical, because they converge. It gets to the convergence zone. Hey, Andres Lacoste, good to see you. They ignore that the zoom always goes above the last angle that it can resolve, and that the visual limit and opacity of the atmosphere prevent adding more cells to the distance. Exactly. You're just pushing out your field of view further. So these two photos alone debunks his whole argument. Get it? It's good to see you, Andres. Glad you could make it. So let's carry on listening to his poor rebuttal.
So the angle is very nearly zero. Some flat earthers even imagine the Earth just keeps going, and they're...
Okay. What's that got to do with the whole argument? So that's a red herring, but let's go on.
There's more lands. In this case, the dip would be even less. Now, on the other hand...
Why would it be even less, McDoon? Why would it be even less? Just because you are saying more lands. What would make it more or less dip? Lumpy, you got anything to say?
It's another tactic. It's also, he's again lacking honesty. It's frustrating for me. It's hard because it's clear for me to see the manipulation he employs, and
Exactly.
it's just hard for me to stay postured and be polite and stuff. I just want to just, like, you know what I mean, like express anger in some kind of way, but I gotta be, polite and things, and it's really difficult because of how serious this topic is.
That's a very serious topic, but that's why I say, that's why these guys are just dishonest. So if they're voting, yes, they do understand the Black Swan argument, and this is the type of thing they bring up, then it just shows them being dishonest, because they're going out their way to try and be dishonest about it. Or if they don't understand it, then it's just showing them to be, well, ignorant. So which one is it? Are they ignorant, or do they understand it but they're just being dishonest by playing ignorant?
Because of the way they're able to manipulate the words and to be able to plan out what he has to say, it's dishonesty. It's dishonesty. We might try to, or I might try to point out and maybe allow for a shame tactic for the audience per se, and say, look at how dumb this is, because I can't conjure thoughts.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of planning that goes into how he's going to disseminate the information, verifying that he has intelligence, in my mind, and it leaves me with the result of he's being dishonest, but I can't say it so much like that. Am I being clear?
Yeah, you're being very clear. No, definitely. No, definitely. I just have to point out, who said better than gold? Yes, the Batman 33. He's a big Batman fan, and well, he loves 33 as well. So we've all speculated that he is actually a Mason. Can you prove it? No, but it's speculation. Would be interesting to see if he is, because if he is, well, then he loses all credibility about anything, actually. So that would be a bum if he's showing a Freemason, hey. Let's go on.
And if the Earth is spherical, the horizon must drop as elevation increases.
Yes, horizon must drop as elevation increases. Yet what do we see here? Rising relative to eye level as he rises. Let's go even higher. Still rising relative to eye level. This sort of looks more concave. Does it not?
The convex with the fisheye lens is a validation that it
convex, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very sad. Okay, let's carry on.
Not by much. You can calculate it yourself. It's about 3.2 degrees at the elevation of a commercial airplane.
Wow.
This amount is difficult for our eyes to identify without a reference, but you can install the Theodolite app on your phone and test it yourself the next time you go on a flight.
Okay.
Here's what I took
Ah, he loves bringing this one up, guys. Remember, the theodolite app has an infinite line here. Everything else in the distance is subject to optical effects. You know, like convergence and perspective and compression. Everything shit shrinks. That line block in his screen stays the same infinitely. It doesn't conform to the same distance effects. Does he get it? And the plane, when flying level, is tilted at a 3-degree angle. So what happens when you are looking level at something and you are higher than it because of that? Then it looks like it's underneath. Get
If
it?
I can have a moment, there's another way that I like to describe the things shrink with distance, and that is, say you pull a hair out of wherever, and you have it close to your eye and you can see the hair, right?
Yeah.
But if I were to hand the hair off to somebody and ask them to walk 100 meters or 100 yards with the hair, there's no way I'm going to resolve the person holding the hair in their hand.
Exactly. It's just too small. I mean, you can have a piece of hair on a A4 notepad in front of you. If you just move it far enough, you're not going to see that hair anymore because the resolution has reached its limit. You cannot resolve it. It's very simple stuff.
Myself flying from Anchorage, Alaska to Minneapolis last summer. You can see the line across the middle is eye level. Then the moon is below eye level.
Yeah, we've shown how things appear to drop optically with distance. So just because it's below your so-called eye level doesn't mean it's physically there. Remember, I've shown with demonstration as things appear to drop as it gets further away in the distance. And also note again, this theodolite reference is infinite. It doesn't conform to any distance effects. Everything else in the background does, including the moon. Also note the angular size of that moon, guys. Remember that other guy that says that Dave McKeegan or whatever says the angular size of the moon doesn't change? Why is it so small there, guys? That's really weird.
And the horizon is somewhere down even farther below that. Other people have done it too and measured the dip to match predictions for a globe.
What dip? Where's the horizon here? Can anybody actually see the actual horizon here?
Not only that, but he just made the statement without offering the verification, the measurement, the date, the individual.
Yeah, he's literally just made a claim again and shown again ignorance to optics and literally just base his argument on that ignorance. As simple as that. So I would call that dishonesty, actually. In other words, he's a Dunning-Kruger.
I'd even go as far as horizon's exactly where it should be on that pictures.
Nope.
You're still looking at Toon's pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's like that big white band. You don't know whereabouts horizon is in that band.
That's exactly my point, yeah. Where's the actual horizon there?
So I'd be tempted to say it's banging place where it
I mean, look there. Look on this where the green, this where my mouse is now. We can easily say that's the horizon, can we not? How do you know that's not the horizon? Just because it's... You don't know. You can't see so far because of all the haze. It's literally going out of resolution to be able to see. So you can't...
What I would say is go and have a look at Jay Tollens' videos because he uses infrared filter, doesn't he?
Yep, and how far does he see with his infrared filters? Way further than they should be able to see on their globe.
I think 1,000 miles at least is done, isn't it?
Yeah, and a hectic far away compared to what their globe says you can see.
In fact, there's on Banjo, he's got where they're seeing through what would be, it looks like sheets of water through the infrared. However, with the naked eye, it looks hazy. But because the infrared's picking up the heat signature, you're seeing through that haze with the filter. So with the naked eye or just a zoom camera without the infrared, you would not be able to see that far. So hopefully I'm being
Yeah, you know what would be interesting? You know what would actually be interesting? If McToon would do this again if he flies sometime, but this time use an infrared camera.
Yeah, it's been kind of an idea of mine is to do infrared observations, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I say, if McToon does fly an airplane again and he wants to use the theologite app, maybe you should try it again with the infrared camera and see what difference he gets.
Professional surveyors can measure it even more precisely with their high-quality theodolites. Here's one from Jeff, the main surveyor.
The main surveyor. Yeah, we've explained this before. You see those crosshairs? Infinite. Everything else in the distance, subject to perspective. The distance effects. Doesn't he understand? Shit shrinks in the distance. It goes through more and more haze. It goes through everything. That line does not go with the effect. It literally stays exactly the same. I mean, you can take a ball and stick it up here. Let's say that takes this whole screen up. As you move it away in the distance, staying exactly the same altitude, it's going to drop in the distance. Because shit shrinks. Everything converges. I mean, I've showed this with my greater thing before. Remember when I showed the greater going in the distance and said, oh, but then it's not level, because it's showing how it's shrinking and then it looks like it's going underneath the curve, optical curve.
How high were Baumgartner?
Yeah, how high was Baumgartner exactly?
The horizon's at eye level from his height.
I want to see
That's
what's...
through the window before he jumps. Yeah, the horizon's level, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the camera angles they show, it shows straight and level and high, but eye level exactly. Not even below it.
I referenced it in that video when I was at Blackpool, you know, when I filmed going up in Tower.
Oh yeah?
Can you remember that video?
Mm-hmm. Actually done so much on this channel and people just say, no, I don't demonstrate anything.
And you purpose too. Almost everything you have to say you have included or will include or do include demonstrations.
That's what I'm saying. If we make a claim, we literally try and demonstrate that claim. They don't.
You know what annoys me with trolls, right? Barring like McToon and Fight the Flat Earth and that, who very rarely come and troll unless they're using a sock account. You have people coming telling you this, that, and other, and you go and look at their channel, they've got no.
They've got nothing.
You've got people claiming to be astronomers. You go to the channel, and there's not even one picture of a star on the channel. Or there's people claiming to be this and that, and you go and look, they've got no to reference it on the channel. It doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly. Hey, Mike Dornan, good to see you. Thank you for coming. See, this is where they hated this, guys. Literally showed it level, kept it level, and then shit shrinks. So now they say, oh, and now it looks like it has optical drop. So they say I just cheated somehow. So this is the eye level. This is exactly what you're seeing out of his theologite app. This is eye level. The horizon is pushed out further. You understand? It is literally physically underneath your eyes because it's not physically lifting. It's physically still at the same place it's always been on that horizontal plane. So that's what has an horizontal, an optical drop, because everything in the foreground is subject to perspective. It's subject to the distance effects. That reference is not. It stays infinite. That's why they hate this I think so much. See guys, it stays level. I literally show level 0 degrees. It's level to that hole. going straight. So again, it's going to have an optical drop, just like McToon's photo. This is, let's say, the theolidite app. It stays at that level. That's his eye level. Hey, Face Reality, $2 super chat. Thank you very, very much. I very, very appreciate it. Horizontal equals parallel to the plane of the horizon. Exactly. You cannot have any level or horizon. Horizon means horizontal, actually. It's horizontal for a reason. Horizon. Thank you very much for your super chat. I don't think I've missed any other super chats. You guys really awesome. Really do appreciate everybody that does support this channel financially. You guys are awesome, and I cannot thank you enough. You guys rock. So yeah, check. This is an infinite reference frame, just like his theolidite app, the infinite reference frame. This would be the horizon moving out further with the field of view as it's moving up. Reference frame stays the same. The horizon is pushing out further with distance because he's raised in altitude. It's still physically exactly the same altitude, guys. It's just literally going to have an optical drop. This debunks the whole McToon argument again. So this is why you see that. Shit shrinks in the distance, guys. It pushes out in the horizon because you pushed out your field of view. This infinite line does not. And I've tried to explain this to them so many times. That's why when they take that argument, they put two theolidites or autolevels together and they move them apart and it looks like they go below each other. It's exactly that, just like I demonstrated with the grater.
Where the horizon is very obviously not at eye level.
Again, horizon is an optical apparent position. It's not a physical position, McToon. Apparent, optical. It changes from day to day with the weather.
He's got real problems if he thinks horizon really is a physical sphere edge.
Mm-hmm. And remember, McToon was debunked at birth. Yeah. Oh man. Brilliant, Andrema.
Standard practice, though, is to flip and rotate the theodolite telescope to verify there's no errors. And there aren't, as you can see here in this image. Jeff took 20 measurements and averaged them. Turns out the dip matches globe predictions.
What dip? When you use an autolevel something, you only measure inclines and declines based on the horizontal reference. That's why they don't actually measure such large distances, McToon, because it becomes inaccurate because of optical effects. Again, dishonest.
So here is Black Swan number 2.
The flat Earth Black Swan number 2. If the Earth is flat and the horizon must rise to eye level. No, it doesn't. So he's making a claim it must rise to eye level, guys. The horizon does not rise to eye level, therefore the Earth is not. No. Again, just like I showed, McToon. This shows flat surface. It's apparent to eye level. Rises apparently. Relative, not actual. That's why we have optical drop. Your photo you showed, reference, horizon.
The ballers struggle with the word apparent, don't they?
Oh yeah. And we can bring up...
I don't think they know what it means.
And we can bring up the definition as much as we want. They still just say, nah, cherry picking. Hey Johnny man, good to see you. Yes, the horizon only appears to rise to eye level. Exactly, faciality. It's an apparent relative position.
If the Earth is flat, the horizon must rise to eye level.
No.
The horizon does.
So, again, guys, you know when I said all they do is fallacies, red herrings, straw man arguments, and, well, outright lying. He's making claims for flat earthers again. What it must do. So it's not doing what he claims because of his ignorance. Therefore, it's just shown false. Doesn't that sound a bit, how can I put it, idiotic?
The thing is, there is flat earthers who go around saying horizon rises to eye level.
Yep, and I try and
So
correct them.
If he's hearing these flat earthers saying that, he's going to use it, isn't he?
Yeah, but I try and correct them on that. They must just say relative, because it's relative to eye level. But you see, those flat earthers and say rise to eye level, get it from these clowns. These are the clowns that made it up. You understand? Because they literally created that straw man to burn. And some of the flat earthers getting into it, unfortunately, catch that lingo and then get it. But they misrepresent actually what the flat earther say, because the flat earther doesn't literally say it actually rises to eye level. They take it as it actually rises to eye level. So they're misrepresenting what the flat earther is saying.
But so it's like a lift.
Yeah, I mean, not one. Even the people that say the horizon rises to eye level, I can guarantee you they're going to tell you it doesn't actually rise to eye level. You understand? George Banwell. If I had a totally straight tube, how far would I be able to look through it before it appeared to bend? Would it be different pointed straight up? A tube would shrink uniformly like that, dude, because the field of view is becoming more converged, all on the same. Have you never looked through a long enough tube until you can't see through it anymore? And refraction is affected by the horizon. Yeah, optical. Great, so not actual physical. Radio Criterion FE, good to see you. The Flat Earth Warriors, good to see you. Glad you could make it.
Not rise to eye level, therefore the Earth is not flat.
So we've debunked his Black Swan 1 and Black Swan 2 with demonstration, I might add, very easily. So this is number 3. Okay, let's see what he says. Number 3.
Black Swan?
Number 3.
Number 3. When looking at an object, as it gets farther away, it always appears smaller. This is the law of perspective. The size can be measured in degrees, and you can calculate it using triangulation or this formula here.
Ooh, we can. So we can use triangulation, something he totally says we do not do with celestial navigation. Yeah, and then shows triangulation.
If you prefer.
Manipulation.
Yep, manipulation. Exactly. I'm going to go on the whim and say he doesn't understand parallax, guys.
Something is close and then you double or triple the distance between yourself and the object, it changes in angular size a lot.
Yeah, but what happens when you take something that's further away and then let it move away? The percentage of change is much, much less because of parallax.
Is he admitting to perspective?
He is,
at
yeah.
this point?
He is,
Has
actually.
he denied that in the past?
He has, yeah. So he's actually conceding now shit shrinks in the distance. So in other words,
Yep.
he's literally debunking his own globe geometry, because their math does not take angular size change into account.
No, it does not.
Hmm.
And he's defended that it doesn't on record.
Yep. But then again, they contradict
why I
themselves
think-
all the time.
Again, there's a number of instances where this sort of thing will happen. And that's, again, why I say I can't conjure thoughts, but from my perspective, they're dishonest.
Yep. I also say dishonest. That's why I say, yes, they do understand the Black Swan argument, but they play dumb.
I know for a fact they're dishonest, because an honest man sees all this evidence there is now for argument for flat earth, and an honest man
But if
looks
something-
at it and finds out that it's true.
Yep. How's this?
A dishonest man becomes
George-
an anti-flat earther.
Exactly.
Too.
How's George Banwell? McToon talking about angular size change has nothing to do with parallax. Really? You want to prove that, George? Please show us parallax has got nothing to do with angular size. Please go. Go ahead. Let's put it this way. If you're driving in a car and you are looking in the distance, you got mountains in the distance. And you got poles in front of you. Those poles are seeming to move a lot quicker past, right? The mountains in the background are moving much slower. Now, what happens with that mountain if you had to, let's say, you stop your car, you get out, you look at the mountain, and you walk 500 meters back? Do you actually see a change in angular size to that mountain? No. Now, go back to the same point where you were. Look at those poles. Walk 500 meters back. Do you see a change in angular size to those poles? Yes, you do. AKA parallax. Yes, really, George, really. I actually studied art. I majored in it, so I think I would know how parallax is. It's literally just your different incident angle to the object. That's why when you put your thumb in your eye and you close your right eye, it appears that way. Put your left eye, it appears more that way. Get it? But the same as if something's further away, you have a different incidence angle than when something's closer to you. That's why if you take an object, let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, did it change? Let's say take this object. You guys are the eye now. What happens with the object if you're raising? You have a different incident angle when you're looking at it down, and a different incident angle when you're looking at it up. So this would be the eye level, but it changes due to the movement. So when something's further away and I move it, let's say this is now this way. I'm going to move it a knuckle back. Okay? Did it really change angular size? Let's do it again. Is there really much difference? Now note we are still close to the camera, but let's try it now again here, much closer. Now look how large it is now. Now I'm going to move it. Look how much difference it changes. Look how much difference it changes in angular size compared to when it was at the back. Because it's more apparent because you're much closer. Now obviously this distance is not great enough to really to show it that much, but you get the point. Whee! Thank you for the super chat again, Face Reality. Really do appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel. That's awesome. If you guys haven't already, please do subscribe. Really helps to the channel. And also it keeps you guys up to date of what's going on. George Banwell, that is not what McToon was talking about, Flats. Gaslighting and changing the point. Lumpy and Michael, how am I gaslighting and changing the point?
No, but can he be specific? Because he's just making a broad statement. He's not. There's no specificity there again.
It's just defending Toon, so he's the sickest Toon in my eyes.
Yeah, but I want to know where I've gaslighted or changed the subject. I literally explained to him it's parallax. He asked me, no, it's not. I explained to him with demonstration how it is. Parallax is not angular size. No, angular size is part of parallax, George. Do you get that? Angular size plays a part with any optical effect. Even refraction, angular size plays what's the name to it? Does he know that?
It makes me want to laugh.
Yeah. But let's carry on, guys. But then again, these guys will always defend dishonesty. It tells you who's more dishonest. The guy defending them or this guy being dishonest. Hey Rob Keen, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Really appreciate you being here, dude.
It's already very far away and you change the distance by that same amount, it hardly changes it.
Ooh. He just literally confirmed what I just said. Let's listen to that again. After you just defended him, George, he said exactly what I just did.
Already very far away and you change the distance by that same amount, it hardly changes in angular.
So what does he have to say now?
Crickets. Man, these people.
Yeah. So thank you, McToon, for actually validating my argument.
Size at all. So flat earthers claim the sun is small and local. If this were the case, then when measuring the angular size of the sun, it must vary a lot throughout the day.
Why must it vary a lot throughout the day? What is close in his mind? Michael Lumpy, have you guys made any claim what the distance to the actual sun is? Or even if it's a physical object?
I said the other night, nobody's in any position to make any claims about lights in sky.
No.
Yeah, I'm very clear about that. Any claim made as to a actual distance or an actual size is incoherent.
Exactly. So, but you see, they love doing this. They take the Flat Earth Society model and then they try and push it onto us. They say this Flat Earth Society model says 3,000 miles or whatever, so therefore all Flat Earthers claim this, which is idiotic. No one claims it. We don't even claim it's a physical object. We're not making any claims about it because we cannot go and validate it. Simple as that. We can demonstrate its behavior as we observe it, but we cannot make a claim how high it is or what it's made out of or anything. It's amazing how they love making claims about something in the sky when they can't even validate the ground they stand on.
Do you know what annoys me when you get, we know how far away it is, we know what it is. It's like,
And how do they know this?
Have you touched it?
But I want to know, how do they know? It's based on the Copernicus model, correct? The distances.
Yeah.
Now, the Copernicus model is based on the radius of Earth.
Correct.
And the Black Swan has debunked the radius of Earth.
Well, that and assumptions. Venus being the twin, and there's more than just the radius assumption.
Yeah. So, but I mean, just based on the radius being debunked alone, debunks everything they've just brought up for their globe.
Exactly, 100% agree, Flatwood.
Black Swan. That's why Black Swan is so deadly to the globe, guys. And these guys debunk it themselves when they try and defend against the Black Swan. That's why even his attempt to do Black Swans against reality, aka Flat Earth, is backfiring on him. Because he literally is debunking his own globe every time he tries to bring up something.
If the sun is 93 million miles away, its angular size must hardly change at all throughout the day.
This also brings me to another point. Even if it was, let's say, 3,000 miles away, when last has someone actually gone and observed something 3,000 miles away and seen it change angular size? I'll take that as 0% of humanity.
Correct.
Can I just address Kenny in the chat?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Kenny Eaton, you were the one who was making claims, and so far you've brought no proof whatsoever. So, burden of proof is on you, man.
Do you think Kenny actually watched the stream from last night? Kenny, last night we actually gave you guys an opportunity to bring your evidence for your globe. You know what we got? Nothing.
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. We got Brenda, who just lied live on live stream the whole time. That's it. So Kenny, if you want to, just let me know. You can bring your evidence. We'll be more than happy to pause this and put you on Discord to present your globe evidence. Hey Face Reality, $2 super chat again. Thank you very, very much. You are so awesome, dude. Anything we can see in the universe is local. Fact. Exactly, because we can see it. That's my whole point. We can only see a set distance, how can I say it, as far as we can see. Them making claims that we can see further than that is just faith. It's speculation. But thank you again for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Flat Earth is not hidden, nor people raised to believe in false claims. Yep. Okay, let's carry on.
since the distance is not changing very much relative to the already large distance to the sun. So when looking at the sun, it's always important not to do it with your own eyes. Use something very...
Yeah, it'll be stupid to look at the sun with your own eyes. No one says you should look at the sun with your own eyes. Again, trying to make flat earthers look stupid. See what I'm saying? They literally go out their way to try and make idiotic. They go out their way to try and make flat earthers look stupid. Let's put it that way. Now, why would you need to do that if you didn't see them as a threat? 116 votes, guys. Do anti-flat earthers understand the black swan? 56% say yes. No, 44%. Hey, Mikey Smith, good to see you. Yeah, he's a real clown. We've debunked every single thing he's been showing at us right now. He's debunked himself, actually. Let's carry on.
dark like welder's glass or a proper solar filter. The same is true for a camera. If you did...
No, Kenny, we don't silence those who disagree. We're literally just telling you to come and provide your evidence.
Thing is, Fatso, Kenny's expecting you to go and Google this paper.
I don't need to Google anything. It's
no,
his burden.
No, Kenny. Your claim, you Google it, fetch the paper.
And come on. Exactly, that's the whole point. No stress, Flat Earth Warriors. You deserve the wrench, dude. Yeah, because that's how they don't understand how burden of proof works. If he made a claim to have the evidence, it's his job to present the evidence. George Bandwell, yes, threat. We are actual threats to you, otherwise he wouldn't have a channel right now. You do know that. There wouldn't be one anti-Flat Earth channel if Flat Earth wasn't a threat. You guys would just ignore it and let it be.
No, the camera will get an image of the glare, not the actual size of the sun. So in this video by Felipe Rockholt, who's a flat earther,
Oh, okay. Felipe Rockholt from the videos of the sun with solar filter. Michael, we can hear you typing.
My bad.
did use a solar filter when he filmed the sun at sunrise, midday, and sunset.
So what does that tell you? It's far enough not to change in actual apparent size, in apparent angular size. Does that say that's 200, what, 98 million miles away, as they put it? No. Heck, even if it's your so-called claim 3,000 miles away, how do you know it would change angular size? You wouldn't, because no one can actually claim they've ever observed anything 3,000 miles away to actually put a reference of a change in angular size at that distance. Heck, you'd struggle to see angular size change at 500 miles away. If you can even get lucky to see that far. I mean, really.
It's clear that the sun is very nearly the same size in all 3 times of day.
So, how does this debunk flat Earth, McToon? Because you just say, oh, it's small and local, so it has to change angular size. Showing you do not actually understand how it works. Or you do, you're just playing dishonest.
Not drastically different sizes as it must be if the Earth...
No, you claim it must be. Can you provide us evidence of that it must change angular size at that distance? So I'm going to give you homework, McToon. Go out, show a demonstration of something 3,000 miles away, changing angular size, please. Do you think you'd be able to do that, Lumpy or Michael?
Yeah, and
Say again.
to me, it's very non sequitur to make actual claims to apparent objects that are intangible. You cannot hold them. It's a comment I make commonly. Anybody familiar with precision manufacturing, if I were to measure a part by looking at the moon, I'd be fired.
Exactly. That's why I love the argument like, oh, all the planets and stuff look spherical, so the Earth has to be spherical too. Then you say, okay, a pool table. When you play pool, the balls are round. Or is the table also round? Instead of looking at the earth you're standing on, they want to look in the sky and make deductions on things that they claim to be spheres. They don't even look like spheres, actually. They just say they look like spheres to them. I mean, we've literally shown where you can demonstrate taking flat surfaces, convex, concave, and spheres, and hemispheres, placing them on a table, and they can't tell the difference between them. But yet, they want to look in the sky and say this is a sphere. Why? Because they have a belief that it's a sphere. That's it. So, Michael, like I was saying, he made the burden of claim, so he's got the burden of proof to go and actually prove this, because he's the only one that claims this. The sun is so close that it should change angular size. It will change angular size if it's a flat earth. So, McToon, this is your homework. Please go and demonstrate something 3,000 miles away, because that is your claim, the sun is 3,000 miles away. Take an object that's 3,000 miles away and show us it changing angular size when changing distance, please. Good luck.
Earth is flat. Thanks, Felipe. So here's...
Yes, Earth is flat. Thanks, Felipe. Thanks, Michael. Earth is flat, yeah.
Black Swan.
Yeah. Sorry?
I said you're welcome.
No, but his name's also Michael.
Ah, I thought you were talking to me.
But yeah, thank you, Michael.
Oh, welcome anyway.
Better Than Gold says, I have a $500 challenge on my Instagram asking anyone to prove the curvature. Almost 3 years and not a single baller has jumped on it. Yeah, because they can't prove it. It's impossible to prove a fantasy.
Number 3. If the sun is small and local, according to the law of perspective, its angular size must vary dramatically throughout the day. The sun's angular size hardly varies at all throughout the day. Therefore, the Earth is not flat.
That's a false premise, as we just explained. 3,000 miles away, as you put it, cannot even be observed in reality, let alone made a claim about. So even if it is 3,000 miles away, how would you know that's close enough to be able to show that so-called angular size change? Because we cannot observe anything 3,000 miles away.
It's 3 fallacies in that statement. In my mind, I hear a non sequitur, a baseless assertion, and then a red herring.
Yep.
That's what I hear.
And a false premise claim.
Okay, yep, 4.
But that's how they operate. That's all they have. That's why I said they're strawman kings. They create strawmen to burn. They don't actually have any flat earth arguments to rebut. So they have to make up their own arguments to try and rebut. It's sad. Oh, music again. He's got another one, guys. 4. Ooh, this is exciting. Long flights. By the way, guys, I'm still waiting for Wolfie to do his compass thing I've asked. Yeah. Hey, Globus Sander, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it.
Number 4.
Whoa.
There are a lot of airplanes and ships that regularly travel between continents. Airplane navigators must plot these routes and ensure they have enough fuel for the flight, but not too much, as an airplane has trouble landing if there's too much fuel because it makes the airplane too heavy.
Yeah, you have pros and cons. It usually works that way. They also have to know if they're flying in the wind or out the wind, because wind makes a big difference as well, McToon.
They also
another thing I'd like to add is over-detailing is a tactic used by people being dishonest.
Yeah, they try and oversell the product.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like when you get trolls in comments and they write 3 paragraphs and you can just answer them back in a sentence.
But that's why I say usually when I ask the people a yes or no question, like when I asked him about that, I had an actual when he called me a wife beater. I had an actual screenshot on screen ask him, is this just an optical illusion or is it physical? And it was a simple yes or no question. That was it. He refused to answer it.
That says it all, then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of times that will happen in this topic in general. It's common. I see it commonly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Absolutely need accurate maps. Otherwise, they'd get off course and get lost, potentially running out of fuel and crashing. Airline companies would have a few problems if they...
That makes it interesting. Like we've been talking before the show started. Why in World War II and stuff were some places using the Gleason's map? Very odd. So is the Gleason's map very accurate? McToon?
regularly lost airplanes over the ocean, and it would cut down on repeat customers. These routes are public information and can be accessed on many websites. Anyone can ride on a plane and record.
Yes, we know about planes. Can you just get to the argument now? That's what I say. They're literally, it's called a magic trick where he's literally trying to make it sound like he knows what's going on. So he says a whole spiel about it so everybody can actually just get confused and not understand the actual argument, and just at the end of the day, oh yeah, he knows what he's talking about, so therefore it's correct. That's what a mentalist does, by the way. You know what a mentalist is?
Yeah.
They guide you to a answer. So they make you think that they're reading your mind, but they've actually guided you to that.
And also, because they've somehow managed to get so many subs, they're like, it's like a computer dweeb who's being elevated to like some kind of personality, so he thinks he's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Remember, this is the same guy that says orthographic is perspective. And then when
He's also a guy who says there's no triangulation in celestial navigation.
and then shows triangles.
And then
totally double speaks and says there's triangulation. And people still think he's...
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Because literally I asked him, okay, show me on your orthographic how you took perspective into view. Even the convergence. How do you take convergence into consideration when doing your orthographic? What is his answer?
You should play my clown v clown.
Yeah, I think you should. Oh man.
Record their coordinates with the GPS recorder, so there's nothing to hide. For example, flight QF27 between Sydney, Australia and Santiago, Chile. If the Earth were flat, it would be around 16,000 miles and fly over North America. If the Earth were round, it would fly close to Antarctica and would be about 7,000 miles long. What does this flight actually do? It's just over 12 hours, gets close to Antarctica, and flies about 7,000 miles.
Do you actually see Antarctica from there? This is why I asked even Wolfie, because he says they fly great circle routes, like you just tried to show you. So, Wolfie, when are you going to show that compass, dude? Is it actually flying great circle routes, or is it just stating you flying great circle routes? It's weird. He's been very quiet since I've asked him to do that, guys. It's been, what, a month now? I'm sure he's flown an aeroplane in this month. So he's been able to just do what I asked him to do.
Just as predicted on a globe. So here's Black Swan number 4. If the Earth were flat, all long-distance flights would work on a flat map. Long-distance flights do not work on a flat map. Therefore, the Earth is not flat.
Again, making claims and then not actually substantiating them with any backup. And what does it mean with long-distance flights would not work on a flat map? How much, I mean, look at Banjo when he has his book out with all the emergency flight landings that all show flat, that totally go against the globe. Literally. Do they ever address those?
No, they won't.
Yeah, I mean, they go out of their way on the globe with an emergency landing on a flat earth that's literally on the way. And those are long distances.
and it's, I cannot validate the claim he made, that there is a flight that takes the route he claims. And so,
Yeah.
to me, at this point, it's a story. I don't, what has been shown with emergency landings is that is not the route taken.
Mhm.
Absolutely not.
Yep. So shout out Banjo, really awesome stuff. Yep, literally shows that they have to take they take the flat Earth route. That's why I'm asking Wolfie to literally do that thing with the compass, because if he can, then it's going to show that they either fly Great Circle routes or they don't. And he's
And it's another example of them avoiding being detailed or offering a demonstration that validates the claim they make.
Yeah.
And I'm awaiting for any validation of any of their claims when it is coherent.
yeah. I mean that's why that's why me and Brian have asked so much times for Wolfie and them just to provide pitch data for us, and they can't provide pitch data even. You're telling me a pilot
Right.
can't just get pitch data? Yeah.
Well, I think I was last to ask him for that, weren't I? Last week, week before.
Yep. Yes, it's already 10:30 and we haven't even got the first video. I've still got like 2 or 3 videos. Let's go on.
It's cool, we've got all time, haven't we?
Yeah.
There's another day, we don't have to do it all today.
Yeah, but they're all, yeah, we can just have more Black Swan. Because, I mean, it is quite a profound series, this, actually. Because the Black Swan is a globe killer. It's very dangerous to the globe. Let's see his number 5. He's got another one. Spin right round. Huh? This should be interesting.
Swan, number 5. Many flat earthers also insist the Earth is stationary.
Yes, we know it's stationary, not insist it's stationary. By the way, I've got a video that I'm going to be doing soon with a guy claiming to be able to prove Coriolis effect with a pipe.
Right.
He wears it as a necklace.
Good luck with that. That's all I can say. Good luck with it.
It's funny, but yeah, it's brilliant. So I'm going to be doing a video on that.
Though there are some that imagine the Earth is perpetually accelerating upwards.
No, Flat Earth Society. We do not push society. We don't push Flat Earth Society. That's the map you guys are pushing on us. The fact you bring it up makes you know that you are pushing dishonest controlled opposition.
Did you see that video Nathan covered with this guy claiming sky was falling up or something?
Yeah, but remember, that's dialect. That's the same guy I showed on my channel, remember? A few months back.
Oh yeah, dialect,
That's him. Yeah, where he said that's why I said if they say there's actually no gravity on Earth. Because the Earth is falling up.
And McToon interacts enough with this topic and us to know that we have multiple times and are very clear that that's not a claim that anybody in reality that challenges the globe and has evidence to validate the contrary. It's not he has no evidence to claim that any one of us in this topic would agree that the Earth is going up at any rate or any of that.
It's stupid.
That's dishonest again, for sure.
But he does know that their globe also says it's accelerating outward in every direction. That's what gives their gravity. They do know that, right? That's why the Flat Earth Society have that, because they believe it pulls up, just like their globe is supposed to be expanding at that rate.
Yeah, the Einsteinian gravity, however, it's so incoherent to make the claims.
When last have you seen a ball accelerate outwards without changing size?
Yeah, right?
I mean, really. They literally just ignore that part. If you ask them about it, they just ignore it straight. They don't give an answer. They act like you haven't even asked it.
These two groups don't get along. The flat and stationary ones accuse the non-stationary ones of being controlled
That is controlled opposition. It's always been controlled opposition, and that's the one you are always pushing.
And that's the one Tone's working for, if you ask me.
Yep. That's why he brings them up literally all the time.
Opposition, as if they're intentionally trying to make flat earthers look dumb.
Yes, that's what control opposition does. That's why they're there. Hi, Alfaken, good to Ali Faki, good to see you. Once globies put their ego aside and understand the black swan, they would realize how easy it is to debunk the globe theory. In the model, there must be one horizon, and it is geometric. Bye bye. Exactly, Ali. 100%.
Let's get this straight.
You got it.
One set of flat earthers are mad at another set of flat earthers because they think they make them look dumb? Let that sink in.
So here comes the bigotry, guys. Also note how these guys are bigots, and they always have to try and insult. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotional manipulation as well. So there's factual manipulation, there's lies, there's tactics, there's emotional manipulation. Also, it's just, it's gross to me. It's gross. Like if I were to eat rotten meat, it'd be disgusting. Like,
Exactly.
God, it's hard to deal with, to be honest.
Yeah. Charlie Gold, only Jesus is the true Superman. Amen to that.
Anyway, whether the Earth is stationary or accelerating up, they all claim the Earth isn't rotating. But this has been tested by a flat earther.
But what we found is
Yes, and the same ones we say are controlled opposition you're showing on here.
Is he
Weird.
referring to
Bob.
the GB dumpster truth?
Yeah. The same ones we're saying are not actual flat earthers.
Yeah, and I would say definitely, absolutely not controlled up. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It is.
So why is he bringing them up then? You see,
I always really like to be clear about what I can validate and not. But it seems to me that this is definitely what I call a hack.
I mean, it's much easier just to infiltrate a narrative and make them look dumb. And that's what this guy does.
It's like whatever they get involved with always ends up shining a bad light on flat earth. That's what woke me up to it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, how come Professor Dave only wants to debate David Weiss, you know what I mean, who's crappiest debater in flat earth, who makes loads of claims that flat earthers believe this and believe that when we don't. Why did he want to debate him and then totally annihilate him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bob Lee's gyro. Nobody's even seen this video of him using this gyro. All you get is cartoons.
Yeah, no, he never shows him using it. He literally just says, this is what they got. And then, also to make it worse, he's trying to give biased deduction to it by trying to make excuses about it. So it's also trying to show the flat earther circle to be dishonest. Understand?
And then there's nasty toxic side to him as well, you know what I mean, with comments and...
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the ugly side. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I was just being given the benefit of the doubt and stuff. But after those comments from him and Jared and in the background to me. Yeah.
That and another thing is the who gets on, for me this is again speculative, but for me, who gets on an hour-long TV broadcast that hasn't been done the script, hasn't practiced the lines, doesn't read a teleprompter, isn't under complete control? For me, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I can't say that this is what many people believe, most people would claim, any of that, but again, it's my opinion that these things that are on TV set to be viewed by millions are controlled entirely.
It's not called media for a reason. I mean, like I said, it's simple. If you know you're going on a very important documentary, you're going to have your things set out correct. You don't want anything to go smooth. You're telling me he couldn't have tested this out before the documentary even?
and with many takes, possibly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like
Yeah.
with Jaren and his holes in the wall, he literally, you can see him culling it out like a dog's breakfast before 5 minutes before he has to do the so-called not experiment. I mean,
Right.
if it was me, I would have tested it out before the time. I would have got this stuff flipping CNC machine to make sure it's 100% perfect, make sure it's lined out properly. Everything would work perfect because that's how it works. Usually you do more than one take so you can get the right thing. Not with these guys. They simply just showed things like a dog's breakfast. They don't actually show the demonstrations. And then, yeah. That's what I said. They literally are just here, put in here to make...
Biggest tell for me was like, why would you go and get in bed with mainstream TV anyway? Like, that was biggest tell for me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But let's see if they actually show him using the gyro, guys.
Turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift.
This is what they show. Where's the gyro? Where's he using it?
A
Exactly.
15 degree per hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. Now, just like belly button lint is not a proper garnish to serve to Gordon Ramsay,
So again, McToon, would you provide us the actual video footage of him using that gyro to pick up 15 degrees an hour drift, please? So that's more homework for you. Actually provide us the actual video where they actually used it.
Bob Nodell is not a scientist. Not even close.
Neither are you two.
15 degree per hour drift.
Oh. Yeah, he's as far from a scientist or anything that you can be. He doesn't even know what
I
science
think
is.
that's a pot. Is that a pot calling in the kettle?
Yeah, it is.
The problem with these anti-flat earthers, they wouldn't even know science even if it hit them in the face.
They have to conflate it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Variety of methods on my website with peer-reviewed scientific measurement.
Ooh, peer-reviewed scientific measurement. Okay, that should be interesting.
So what about properly done peer-reviewed scientific measurement?
Peer review is not scientific, by the way, guys.
Nor are measurements. Measurements are what is.
Exactly.
A measurement is not ever going to cause a naturally observed phenomenon.
They do know peer review is simply just publications. That's all it is.
Yep.
It's a publication. It's not any science to do with it. Peer review actually just came out so they can publicly publicate the so-called experiments. The publications literally buy out the person or experiment team to publicly publish the experiment. That's it. So they make money out of it. It's a money-making
It's
scheme.
like a load of idiots patting each other on the back, you know.
Yep.
Like a posh version.
I watched something today. I want to see if I can quickly find it. I think I saw it this
You
morning.
can support research with a measurement. However, a measurement isn't going to be the cause of the effect. In my opinion, I mean, it seems to me measurements would be quantitative.
Yeah. I saw something today. I want to see if I can't remember, was it a short or was it a video of a person talking about, there we go. Is science infected with censorship? I wanted to
That's
show you.
not up in my feed.
Very interesting. Listen to what they say.
Or intimidation. How do you feel like science is being infected by things like censorship and intimidation in today's day and age?
Now remember, guys, science is being infected by censorship and intimidation.
It's really impossible. I mean, even outside of the subject of gender, it's really impossible, I would say, to do any good research, even within the sciences, that does not have a progressive bent to it.
Very telling, guys.
But I would say, and I say this as a liberal, so I'm like an old school liberal. Research should not be political.
Yeah, so why is science got anything to do with politics? And that's exactly what peer review is, politics.
And you know, like for like, imagine a scientist were to come out in his field with all his pals. I think Earth's flat. He'd get ridiculed just like we do. You know what I mean?
Yep. Globus Thunder, no he doesn't. Does McToon have a demonstrational working replica of the globe? No he doesn't.
It should not be activism. That has nothing to do with the scientific method. And
Well said. It has nothing to do with the scientific method. The globe has nothing to do with the scientific method.
I find it very disturbing to see the ways in which politics and ideology have come in. I mean, my own reason for leaving academia was because I just felt like the climate had become way too politically stuck.
I think she says it straight out. Science today is not science, guys, it's pseudoscience. Because it's political, opinionated, and yeah, not science.
And it's got an agenda behind it, pushing it.
Uh-huh.
Research, say, you want to do objective research. You have to
Yep.
get funding, you have to write a proposal, you have to collect your data,
Mhm.
analyze it, submit it for publication, have it reviewed by a panel of people who are supposed to be impartial experts,
And what happens?
and then hopefully it will get published once you make the necessary changes to it.
I just had to show that, guys.
Yeah, I seen it in my feed. I didn't watch it live. I didn't see it properly.
So yeah, I think that's quite telling, guys. That's from an actual scientist. So tell me again how peer review is scientific.
Measurements of Earth's rotation. Well, there are many. I put together a collection of measurements using a variety of methods on my website at mctoon.net/spin. Like this one, detection of Earth's rotation using superfluid phase coherence.
It has long been recognized that the microscopic quantum properties of superfluid helium could form the basis of technique for measuring the state of absolute rotation of the containment vessel. Circulation. So there we go. Containment, guys.
Well, another thing is, why is it so difficult when it should be 2 reference frames, or it needs to be, not even should, it needs to be 2 reference frames, and it would be obvious. It would be an apparent deflection.
Exactly.
God.
There's no... That's why we said to Brenda last night as well. It's very selective on what it wants to show and not.
You can't nail a ball down to what they claim though. Some say lockstep at Atmo. Some say like Brenda said, 2 reference frames last night. So
Yep.
she debunks lockstep Atmo.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Then you get blue balls saying, no, air goes around with Earth. It's like you can't. They're not all on the same page anyway. It's silly.
Yeah, exactly. But let's see what this thing says further. Circulation of superfluid helium is quantized. So it's quantized, guys. So the providing of reference state of 0 rotation with respect to inertial space. Here we provide experimental proof of this concept of detecting the rotation of the Earth using the spatial phase coherence of superfluid. He thus providing independent corroboration of an earlier report that demonstrated the feasibility of making such a measurement. Or our superfluid container is constructed on a centimeter-sized silicone wafer and has essentially toroidal geometry with the flow path interrupted by partial incorporation a sub-micrometer aperture. Rotation of the container induces a measurement flow velocity through the aperture in order to maintain coherence in the quantum phase of the superfluid. Using the device, we can determine the Earth's rotation rate to a precision of 0.5% with a measurement time of 1 hour, and argue that improvements in sensitivity of several orders of magnitude should be feasible. So this is just a concept, and do they actually provide a demonstration of this? Kind of sounds far-fetched. It almost sounds like the video I was talking about with the guy using that tube and putting it as a necklace. Sounds in the same lines. So you guys might want to stay tuned for that video. It's hilarious. But yeah, McToon, can you show us actual demonstration of this concept, please? Because you do know concepts aren't always based on reality.
Is that all he's got for his evidence? That little square little post on his screen?
Apparently.
Yeah, right there.
Apparently, yeah. But let's see if he actually
In
shows.
this measurement, the researchers put liquid helium
So it is like that thing that I was talking about with that guy. Okay, the researchers put okay.
4 in a small toroid. Now, liquid helium flows without friction, allowing it to move according to only its inertia. In the toroid is a
Interesting.
sensor to measure the flow velocity of the helium. And
How does it measure this? He says it's frictionless. How does it measure it then? With a sensor, because that's friction. Do you get that, McToon? If it's
Looks like
frictionless,
Looks like pushing donut.
if it's frictionless, then how's it picking up friction to measure it? It doesn't make sense.
induced by Earth's rotation.
Did they explain how it's induced by Earth's rotation? Did they just stick it on the floor and see it start rotating or something?
There are more than a dozen different measurements of Earth's rotation listed on my website.
Okay.
So here's black.
Is any videos of demonstrations of that? 'Cause I'd like to see.
That's what I'd
what
like to
the-
see. Because he's literally just put that up there and made claims about it. And, yeah. I don't see right. Should we actually look for demonstrations? I don't know.
Well, it'd be nice to see one.
What's the name of it?
It's like Bob with his gyro, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like talking about it and showing a picture, but that's cool note to me.
Detection of Earth's rotation using superfluid phase coherence. Ooh, it's hot. Superfluid, dark matter. Superfluids, it just actually says about superfluid. Maybe we have to actually go and Earth rotation picked up by superfluids detection of Earth rotation with a superfluid double hole. Okay. Velocity of the superfluid quantized with respect to local inertial frame of reference. So this is about the same actually. Okay. Pick up a loop. Orifice. Flexible membrane. Okay. Double hole. Resonance. The velocity circulation of the superfluid is quantized with respect to local inertial frame of reference. This quantization requirement implies that depending on the geometry, the superfluid in the loop connecting to the two holes and resonator phase slippage experiments may be set into motion in the laboratory frame by the Earth rotation. We describe an experiment displaying such an effect. Careful attention has been paid to geometry of the superfluid loop coupled to the rotation field. The strength of this coupling is changed the orientating, but the local vertical axis, the plane of the loop with respect to the north, and present the sensitivity of fluid. Gyrometer is 1 or 2 parts. So it's got a pickup loop, an orifice, and a flexible membrane. But how is it picking up Earth rotation actually?
Well, we know Earth's not rotating, so it's got to be a pile of tricky fault.
Remember we just literally said peer review is just political and not scientific. So they stick some equations with that. They're really vague really how it works though. Because if you read a peer-reviewed paper, you're supposed to read it and say, okay, I understand what's going on, so I can do the experiment as well. If you read this, would you know how to do this so-called experiment? Where's the IV and the DV?
Yeah, save the link anyway, and I'll have a look. I'll have to have a look at it live. But it sounds like waffle to me.
I'll send it in. But yeah, that's quite interesting. I'm going to look it up, this guys, more in more detail, I think. But I want to see if we can actually pick it up on a video.
That's what I mean. Surely there's footage of it, device or some footage of some of it, you know what I mean, rather than just little drawings on a piece of paper.
They're just explaining what superfluid usually is in videos. Sorry guys. Maybe in ResearchGate, let's see. Same paper actually. Yeah, different paper, same thing with a loop. Remember guys, hydrostatics, if you change the shape you're going to get a flow of liquid. So because of that shape it can have a flow, and therefore they're calling it earth rotation. Odd. Let's go to the next one. This is all anti-flat earthers have. Mumbo jumbo gibberish. Exactly, psych there. There's the full paper. There we go. Just the same. If anybody has any information on this, it would be really greatly appreciated. But I'd love to see the actual demonstration. Not just people talking about it. You know, actually showing it. It's got the abstract as well. Probably exactly the same paper. It's called a superfluid gyroscope. That's actually what it is, guys. So that, how do you work a gyroscope? It has to actually be moving. So they actually induce the rotation, guys.
Like I said, pilot trick.
So they have to induce the rotation to pick up the rotation. Wow. There we go, see? They're rotating it around. This hysteresis behavior has been observed nature using a Bose-Einstein condensate of ultra cold atoms trapped in a ring-shaped dipole trap. They could excite the rotation of the condensate by pushing the atoms with a laser beam in rotation. So they're exciting it, so they actually cause the rotation, guys. With this one. Next one, let's see. Let me put it this way. If you cause the rotation in a fluid, does that mean you are pricking up Earth rotation, or just the cause of the rotation you picked up? Rotating superfluid.
Surely.
Superfluid helium interferometers.
I'm not going to waste my time bashing my head thinking about it, like, because I know Earth's not moving. So.
No, I just want to figure out how they're taking this and saying it's showing Earth rotation. That's all. It's really odd.
It just sounds like a fancy Foucault's pendulum from what you described.
I like what Paul says. Stars appear to turn overhead. Next step, get some super cool helium. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Okay, I think we can go on with the video.
The superfluid phase coherence. In this measurement, the researchers...
And by the way, superfluid phase coherence, so in other words, it's going through a phase, so it would cause movement. Not because of Earth rotation, because it's going through a phase. What happens when something goes through phase change? It moves. Hey Chuck Middleton, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Thank you for coming. I mean, as far as I understand, when something goes through a phase change, there requires movement. So when something goes through movement because of phase change, that is what's caused its movement through this tube. Not because of Earth rotation, it's because it's going through a phase.
Put liquid helium-4 in a small toroid. Now, liquid helium flows without friction, allowing it to move according to only its inertia. In the toroid is a sensor to measure the
Yeah, like you said, guys, frictionless. But there's a sensor that measures it. And how does it measure it? Friction. Yeah, makes so much sense. No contradiction at all.
flow velocity of the helium induced by...
Flow velocity means friction. Mattoon. So you might want to reword your wording there.
Earth's rotation. There are more than a dozen different measurements of Earth's rotation listed on my website. So here's Black Swan number 5. If the Earth is stationary, then measurements would measure.
They were reading
well,
off a prompt to them, weren't they?
Sorry?
But like they were reading something, weren't they? He's not just got it in memory.
No, he's reading it, or he's got double screens there. He's got double
So
screens.
he's just reading it, then he doesn't actually know what he's talking about, does he?
No, remember, he just literally said that it's frictionless while stating a measurement is made on flow, which is friction. I mean, literally. Does he not understand what friction is then? Does he not understand what flow measurements are? And like I said, with hydrostatics, if something's going through a phase, it means it's moving. So it's not moving because of the Earth rotation, it's because of the phase of the liquid helium, of the very cold liquid. I mean, it's busy heating up. So what happens when it's going through a phase change? It moves. This is how desperate these guys are to prove rotation. Ignore the actual cause on why it's moving, so they can give a false equivalence and say this is Earth rotation. It's as simple as what they do with the basin, where they put in the different hemispheres and say, look, it spins in different locations, different ways. It's exactly the same. That's how desperate they are.
Listen, if Earth were rotating, an helicopter would be able to hover and get to somewhere else without moving.
Controlled flight, as Brenda says. And then I show on video live a guy demonstrating it with a drone. Also controlled flight. Weird.
How many times has Brenda been on since you've been doing your streams and she's double spoke? You know what I mean? It's time after time. Nobody tolerates her anyway because she's a liar.
Yep. Okay, let's carry on.
Rotation. Flat earther Bob Nodell used a $20,000 optical gyroscope to measure rotation.
We don't know if he even used it. Have you even seen him use it, Mike?
I haven't seen any evidence.
No. Lumpy, have you seen him use it?
Sorry, no.
All I've seen is that little boxing diagram that Toon showed earlier, where it shows you Earth rotating underneath a gyro.
Yeah, I mean, not even Bob himself has actually shown him using it. Do you know that?
For a gyro to function, it needs to hold rigid in space.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I don't speak to that Bob Wire, but I've heard that he gets stroppy with people when they ask about it.
Yeah, he's supposed to, a few times was supposed to release videos with data and everything, and he has not. He gets very triggered when people ask him when's he going to release it. And it's been how much years now? And
Let's say you're traveling over Earth and it's rotating 15 degrees per hour. Well, how does that work if you've traveled half the distance of the Earth and it's rotating? It's just super dumb. It's non sequitur.
Yep, exactly. Hey, you, the false witnesses saw him use it. Yep. Maybe I should contact the guys from Behind the Curve and ask them, do they have any video images of him using it? I actually watched a guy interview them, by the way. The same people that actually made Behind the Curve. Quite an interesting interview. But I think I should contact them and just ask them, would they maybe have any video of him using the gyro? Would be interesting to see their response.
Therefore, the Earth is not stationary. Thanks, Bob. Well, there you have it. 5 things.
Sorry?
I'll just say thanks, Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. They also know when they say thanks, Bob, then they are throwing away their claim of lockstep Coriolis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, that little diagram shows you Earth rotating underneath that gyro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, better than gold. I'm gonna try and get hold of those people. I'm gonna ask them if they can actually send me some video, or if they even got any handy that we can somehow get source of. It can be a 10-second clip of him using it. It doesn't matter. Just so we have actual reference to see that he's actually used it.
Yeah, just a picture of one of them holding it, even. So
No,
it's real
not holding it,
photos.
actually using it. Because it's easy to take a photo with it. It's not easy to
There's
actually
not
take.
even there's no photographic evidence whatsoever, is there, that gyro? Just that cartoon.
Actually, yeah. But it would be interesting if we get, because they made the documentary, they should have some video footage of them using it.
I predict there will be no reply.
Yeah, especially if I say I'm a flat earther, right? So I'm gonna have to do it without saying I'm a flat earther first. But then they're gonna ask me from where am I?
Right?
Well, maybe I should make up some kind
Rovers
of.
really like to use that word, I predict, so maybe.
Maybe I should make up some kind of institution, call myself a professor like Professor Dave, and then they'll give it to me maybe.
I think we should all put Professor in front of the name.
Right?
But I was planning, I want to change my name to Dr. Flatswade, you know, it just sounds more appealing because, I mean, not a Professor Dave can call himself Professor, not the Science Dan can call himself Simon Dan, so why can't I call myself Dr. Flatswade? I mean, it seems that if they're allowed to do something like that, we can also do this.
Or Simon Dan selling the title of Lord. Is really silly.
Do you know that was shown to be a scam?
Yeah, it's a scam, that. Yeah, you can't be allowed.
And he
Right,
literally pushed it, and he literally pushed it to sell to his subscribers. Ouch.
Yeah.
That's why I say if I had to actually have a product or something to be sponsored by or affiliate, I would make sure it's an actual thing I use myself and know is legit, not just do it for the money. And that's the difference with him. He doesn't care. He just uses anything and just so he can make money of it. Even if he has never used the product or doesn't know about it. As long as he gets
Okay.
money from it.
He's normally trying to flog you some headphones, isn't he?
Yep. I mean, if I want to go and sell something, I'm going to make sure it's something I've actually used or know it's
Did you hear
good
that?
quality.
My
Yeah, what
neighbour
is that?
knocking on. Did you hear that?
Yeah, what is that?
My neighbour knocking on. Well, it sounds like England scored. England must be playing.
But it's but tonight's Brazil and Czech Republic,
England
isn't
not
it?
playing. I don't know who's cheering for them. I got the brain on my wall. I'm going to have words with him.
Psych Bear, Dr. Flatswade has a nice ring to it. Maybe I should make the Dr. Flatswade show. You know, like a once a week Dr. Flatswade show kind of thing. That could be fun. I'm gonna get my green screen soon, guys. So I can make nice spoofs and stuff. It's gonna be quite cool.
Things that absolutely destroy flat Earth.
No. Things you just literally show and destroy the globe Earth and show you have absolutely no idea how Modus tollens actually works. Yeah. I thank you guys. That was actually fun. I can't believe it's already 11 o'clock. So we're going to do the other videos then tomorrow night, guys. Because I still got like 3 videos.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Because it is a bit late now.
I'm coming in it. There's up for another day.
But it was fun.
You never run out of content, put it that way.
Yeah. Really awesome stuff. Hey, Amoba, subscribe to channel. Thank you very much. PJ Crookshank renews this Alpha Wolf membership for 3 months. That's awesome. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Better than gold. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
Join and get some of these lovely stickers.
What? And Hellstrom had subscribed to your channel. Thank you, Hellstrom. And then a $2 super chat from Face Reality. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys, if you want emojis, I'm gonna see we can work out some more emojis as well. There we go.
Can you have some more?
Sorry?
Can you have some
I
more?
think I can add some more. It's the more members you get, the more you can add.
Alright.
So I think I might.
Join the show. Come on. Join. Let's get some more emojis.
Oh, Chuck says he can come on tomorrow night. Awesome, Chuck. Yeah, I'll email you. You got my email as well, I think, Chuck. Flatsoid@gmail.com. If you can email me, then I can just respond to yours. Definitely have you on tomorrow night. It'll be awesome. Yeah?
Good show. It was a really good show.
I enjoyed it. It was nice and chill, laid back. So I think, yeah, we'll do another Black Swan whole series maybe. We might do another 2 videos maybe on it. Another streams.
You should get Mikey on and all to show you something.
Yeah, Mikey Smith, you must also get on the show. Awesome. Yeah, Mikey's got awesome streams. So yeah, I'm going to just say thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you, Lumpy and Michael. You guys are an awesome panel. Unfortunately, PJ couldn't make it tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Flats. I'm honored to be able to be part of this.
No, you guys are awesome. What time will it be tomorrow? About the same time as tonight. Actually about a half an hour earlier. We started at 9 tonight, so probably about 8:30 tomorrow night. Is that shop with you guys? Then we can maybe have an extra half an hour so we can go on to like 11 o'clock. I'm getting so hot.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Make it a long enough Chuck's coming on.
Yeah, it might go to 4 hours with Chuck, guys. Maybe we'll take it up to 12 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save Mikey's. Thanks, Mikey, for your email. I'm just gonna put Notepad. Where's Notepad? Mikey, email. There we go.
And then delete it, Mikey, before all trolls get out of it.
At least I'm not showing it on the. I'm not showing it on the email. Oh shucks, sorry. Email. Okay, shot. You rock, guys. Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the members, all the Patreon members, everybody that does support me on Patreon. If you haven't realized, I do have a tip jar as well for my PayPal and everything in the description as well. I am trying to save up for a very expensive system so we can have electricity, because we might sit without electricity from next year. We'll see how that works. And I definitely still want to stream, so it's going to cost 30 G's, so £1,500.
Move to England.
I think it will cost me more to move to England than to do this. And I doubt my wife will ever want to move from South Africa.
Put it this way, you'll not be sweating.
Oh yeah, yes, this weather.
Right.
I wonder what the weather is now. I want to quickly check.
-3 here.
Temperature Tabazimbi.
We had a very little sprinkling of snow last night. Literally, weren't even a millimetre of it.
26 degrees.
There's it.
Yeah, and it's 11 at night. Don't you just love it? Not 33. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, thanks guys. Really appreciate it. You guys are really awesome. Yeah, tomorrow night again. Chuck, I'm going to email you so we can get you on there. Mikey, definitely you as well. Maybe you can come Sunday. That'll be great. See you guys then tomorrow night. God bless. Till tomorrow night. May the pressure be with you.